What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of Clueless, where we may or may not know what we're talking about. I'm your host, Jake Dellinger, and here are my co-hosts, William and David. Say what's good, y'all.
What's good, y'all? William died.
Yeah? Oh no.
POV, you're William.
POV. I'm William and I just died. Sorry, I muted my mic and I just forgot. So, hey, what is up, you all? I definitely said, what is up, y'all? Everyone knows I said that, so if you think otherwise, you're wrong.
exactly,
Ah,
exactly.
exactly. Um, alright, so this episode, um, just to recap, the first episode we talked about three things.
We
Um,
can't do this every podcast.
I
Yeah,
know, we
you
can't do this
can't.
every
Yeah, so
podcast.
the first episode we did WandaVision. The second episode we did Pokemon. The third episode we did WandaVision again. The
Nah, but
fourth
it
episode,
is
well, that
good.
hasn't happened yet.
It is good to call back though to the first episode because we did talk on some of the topics that we're going to be talking on today. So
Oh
yeah, I'm
hell.
excited to do that.
Whoa,
Yeah,
whoa,
I
you,
was
you
I was trying to
talked.
do I was trying to do a shameless thing, man. Come on.
Whoa, wait. You talked on WandaVision. If
Yeah,
so, that's hot.
yeah. I was
Yeah.
actually Agatha all along.
I
Dude,
was actually Agatha.
I,
Fuck no.
Okay, so
I
if we were
was
to just catch up with you specifically, William, where have you finished WandaVision? Kind of where are you at
Uh,
in that?
I'm just where I was at last night. I'm like
Ah,
4 episodes in it. Like I started to get like the setup of the real world, but I went ahead and I tackled all of like the initial sort of
hmm
dream sequence or whatever the fuck you want to call it. So I'm aware. I'm aware.
you're
Like
aware.
Agatha,
Okay,
crazy witch. Like I don't really care about spoilers. I'll still watch
yeah.
it, but you
yeah.
know.
And
Um
okay, and obviously, spoiler warning, we're going to be talking about things that have happened that some people may not have seen. So if you haven't seen WandaVision, go binge it real quick. It's a nice night, and pop back over here.
it's a
As clarification, we're talking all the way up until the finale, right?
Yeah, up
Yeah,
until
for
Okay.
sure.
the
Okay.
final
All right.
episode. And we're also going to be talking about our expectations for The Falcon and the Winter Soldier,
Yes,
another
yes,
Disney Plus series coming up with
yeah.
none other than Bucky Barnes and Sam Wilson.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that show.
So am I. Yeah.
So I think we should start with WandaVision since it's the first kind of
Since
saga I would say of this new phase, and it's finished. We've got our first kind of stuff set up.
yeah. Um Honestly, I gotta say, like, this is probably a pretty good prologue to, like, phase four. Like, because I know that we were expecting, like, Black Widow to come out first, but then COVID hit, and that kind of screwed everything up. So now, as a Marvel first, they're gonna be releasing four movies this year. We got Black Widow coming up in May, still, hopefully. Then we got Shang-Chi, a new Marvel character being introduced, and then we got the Eternals, and then Spider-Man No Way Home.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait, wait, wait. I actually didn't. Hold on. Wait,
Well,
oh, wait, whoa. Hold on. I got one thing. Technically, Venom 2 is in the works, right?
Well, yeah, but
mm,
Um,
Venom isn't a part of
that's
the
not part of the
MCU.
MCU. Yeah.
yeah, but on top of that, there's also Thor: Love and Thunder and Captain Marvel 2.
That's
Yeah,
2021 stuff though,
2022.
or 2022. We are not in the hell year
Oh,
anymore.
I got you. I got you.
So
Yeah,
yeah, I'm excited
I
for
just
this
real quick
year.
Googled it and I saw those.
yeah, it's
I
all right.
think
Yeah,
they probably wanted to release the Black Widow movie first, just because it is just a prelude and it's just lore on Black
Yeah,
Widow. But
yeah.
I think because Black Widow gone, right? She's dead.
yeah, she
Very
dead.
dead. Yep,
Yeah, she's
yep.
very
Yeah,
dead. So I think releasing WandaVision would have been like their real introduction to the phase. But honestly, like rolling it out just slightly different isn't gonna mess with them. So it kind of worked out
Yeah.
nicely.
I think Black Widow honestly was just supposed to be a last extension of like Phase 3. I don't think it was really supposed to be anything more than like a segue into Phase 4. So it's not a huge
hmm
downer for him to lose it,
Yeah.
especially considering Black Widow is already canonically dead and we're not going back to the past at all really. So there's not really any point to
Yeah.
you know
I mean, WandaVision. We got some pretty weird shit happening. Just for a recap for anybody who hasn't seen it. So basically, after the events of Infinity War and Endgame, as we all know, Wanda Maximoff, aka the Scarlet Witch, does indeed lose her, I guess, kind of husband, kind of boyfriend, Vision,
And she
who was an
also loses
android.
her she loses her
Bro,
marbles a little bit.
yeah, she goes a little
You mean
cuckoo.
her marvels?
That's the comedy you get on the Clueless
Hey, hey,
podcast.
you ever seen the funniest show? No, you haven't.
No, no.
But yeah, but basically she goes
Wait,
ape.
wait. Why did you drum roll after the joke?
I don't know. I
Why,
just
why did you wait so long?
No, he did the
I don't know.
that's after the joke.
I know, but dumb cheer is like comes like right after, not after like the
Maybe the
like. All
punchline
right,
was just
whatever.
you all along.
Fuck,
But
you're right. Fuck you.
yeah. But anyways, she basically creates her own reality in this town of Westview, New Jersey, where she creates a new vision. And basically makes her own life similar to that of like really old sitcoms, which I initially thought was just kind of interesting. And um,
I really
boy,
liked it how they actually tied it in. Like, they weren't just like, she did that because she was depressed and wanted something funny. Like they tied it in as like that was her entire childhood. That's her happy place. I really did enjoy
yeah,
Yeah.
that
yeah,
kind
because
of
there's
tie
like a
in.
yeah, because there's like a scene with her, Pietro, her twin brother, and also like her family watching like the Dick Van Dyke Show or some shit like
Hmm.
later on in the series as like a flashback type thing.
Yo,
But
Jake, you're smarter than me. Real quick, I need to ask this because I'm stupid. Look, we were told that there was gonna be a cameo and in the final episode, like a cam. Who was the cameo? Am I dumb? Did I miss it?
oh, oh, it's funny because Paul Bettany, who plays Vision in the show, was saying that there's a cameo where he was a person that he always wanted to play, like, or at least do a movie with, and that led a lot of people to believe it would be Michael Fassbender, who plays Magneto in the Fox X-Men like movies, because like Evan Peters, for anybody who doesn't really remember, shows up as Quicksilver or Pietro, who turns out to be a false Pietro.
Hmm.
And it turns out that Paul Bettany cameo was actually himself because of that final battle between him and White Vision, basically. So it
Wait,
was just
so
kind of
the final cameo was just
a joke.
him.
Yeah.
All right.
That's lame. Okay.
I have a really big question. And by big, I mean I'm confused. So Pietro is a false Pietro.
Yeah.
So that means that the theories about like him being pulled from the multiverse obviously not true.
No,
But
it's not true.
N-
that leads me
well,
to another question. What the fuck is a false Pietro?
So there just
well,
happened to be a guy named Jake. You can take this one.
yeah. So there was a Westview resident, right? His name's Ralph Boner.
Ralph Boner, who happens. Okay, I have problems with this. There was a resident of Westview named Ralph Boner who happens to look exactly like Pietro, which what's her name? It was Agatha. You know, Agatha Heartless. Apparently she knew about the Pietro look-alike, but you'd assume that when Wanda takes an entire town hostage so that she can live out her fantasies, that she would have, I don't know, probably already found the guy that looks exactly like her dead brother that she has traumatizing memories about, and already would have kind of like cameoed him as her brother. Like, I don't know. I have problems with the
Wait,
fact that there just happened to be a guy that looked exactly like Pietro that
wait,
she didn't
wait,
know about.
wait. So Agatha used Pietro and what like Agatha? I'm confused.
So
So wait,
So
wait.
basically, what happened was that Agatha, in order to actually gain Wanda's trust, basically comforted her. The whole Pietro thing was just kind of like, I guess, a diversion. Like, she basically got a guy who looks exactly like Pietro, but for some
mhm.
reason, Wanda acknowledges in a later episode that he looks different, and I don't really understand
Yeah.
that.
So William,
Well,
what
well,
happened? Okay,
she.
so
I know.
Agatha. took control of Pietro and
Uh
used
huh.
it to gain her trust with Pietro for a moment until she used him to freak Wanda out. And then she was like, "You're not the real Pietro. Get the frick away from me." And then Agatha used that to comfort her. Like Agatha used that diversion to comfort her so that she actually trusted Agatha. That way Agatha had a direct line of trust with Wanda. That way she could set up like the future moment where she traps her the Wanda in like her I don't know creepy sex magic dungeon.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that
Hold on. Hold on. Wait. I'm fine with the manipulation. Manipulation makes sense. Agatha taking control of someone, that makes sense. The thing
Hmm.
I have a problem with is how Agatha was able to take control of someone who was already under the control by all technicality of Wanda.
Okay,
Like
so they're
not
actually
only it doesn't make sense that Wanda didn't know, but also that she didn't use him once she did know as an actual Pietro, and how Agatha just you like took control of one of the people she was already controlling. Like I
well,
yeah,
what?
well, it kind of gets
dude,
explained why Agatha was able to do that because number one, we have Wanda in kind of a fragile state. No matter how powerful she is, she really doesn't understand what she's doing. Like, it's made clear that
Yeah.
Wanda has no idea what she's doing, and by the post credit scene of the final episode, we see that she's finally actually learning spells and stuff. But at that point in the show, she had no idea that she was a witch. She had no idea that she was using magic. Well, she knew she was using magic, but she didn't know she was using magic, you know? And
Okay.
so Agatha had been training in, you know, witchcraft for a very long time. So just
Hmm.
by her basic knowledge of it, she was able to kind of work around Wanda until obviously Wanda figured out and then actually
Okay.
schooled her.
Okay. So
yeah,
what I'm getting from this is Fortnite player goes to COD, gets quick scope for the first 3 hours. That's
Hmm.
basically what I'm getting.
yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
um, but
Okay.
Yeah, that's an analogy.
yeah, it's
I
a
mean,
hell of
it's
an
honestly
analogy.
kind of apt. Like it's not entirely inaccurate.
But yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys happen to see Moist Critical's Moist Meter on the show?
no, I have not. I have seen the Cosmonaut like
Hmm.
Variety Hour
And did
episode.
you happen to see it, William?
I have not. I'm not really a critical guy, but
Okay.
I have seen the Cosmonaut as well.
Okay. Well, I think Critical made a good point where he talked about how WandaVision was good until it turned into cheesy villain Wanda fight villain find out she good like literally the whole I believe the episode right before the final episode, or maybe it was the final episode. The whole episode was just a magic fight and a vision fight, and little kids have can fight, and Black Lady can fight, and they can all fight. They can all fight, and they have powers, and they can fight. And it was pretty. Like I enjoyed the show, but it really was like by the end of it, just kind of made it into your classic Marvel fighting, haha.
yeah, and like the thing about like the last battle, the thing I found really, the only real thing I found cool about it, and this was at 3 a.m., so I'm glad I was able to remember this. The ship of Theseus like philosophy um that Vision used against White Vision. Like the whole like if like different parts of the ship keep being replaced in the museum, is it still really the ship that it was? I really love that part. Like honestly, as somebody who likes really deep moments in that, and like Vision is a very deep character. Like one of my favorite scenes from a Marvel film is actually from one of my least favorite ones, Age of Ultron, where he's facing off against Ultron, and he basically gets into this whole like conversation about human beings in general and how they're basically doomed, but how that's amazing because, as Vision states it, a thing isn't beautiful because it lasts, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I just really like that scene in short,
I just think
to be
that
honest.
I agree with you, Jake. You know, all the fighting and stuff is whatever. That's your Marvel moments, but the just the scene where they're floating in the library and our not our vision, but Wanda's vision is like, come on, I'm not made of any of the genetic material of the original Vision. I have no clue what's happening like outside of the world she's created around me. And then White Vision is like, shit, well, I am the Vision, but I don't remember anything. And then, our Vision kind of wakes him up, like gives him his memories back, and then I guess White Vision is not a bad guy anymore, and it's just Vision, but now Wanda's living in Westview. No, she's not. Now, it's so confusing because,
I
well,
know,
no, by the end of
like,
that episode, she basically, uh, like nuked them, right? They're all gone.
yeah.
So,
Well,
yeah, the real Vision
I
is
kind of,
out there, I guess.
yeah, he just kind of flew away something that we're probably not going to get an answer to until like another Marvel release, which I guess kind of correlates to Monica's like astrophysicist that she mentioned in one of the
Yeah.
episodes, which people thought was going to be Reed Richards,
Well,
from Fantastic Four.
I kind of hate
Like,
that both Vision and Wanda just flew off. Like, Vision was like, I am Vision, and then zoomed away into
yeah,
the sky. And then at the end of the last episode, Wanda was like, thanks, I'm sorry for what I did. And it zoomed
I
away.
th-
Like, like,
I like that. I mean, I like that scene though, where she has a final moment with Vision because it actually feels like she's saying goodbye. You know,
yeah.
like
Okay,
I'm I'm,
I,
I'm
I, I-
happy she.
I don't even know if she knows that Vision is out there. Like, real Vision, you know?
Yeah,
can I just all right? Um, so I remember the review, Cosmonaut. He mentioned like the moment of Vision fighting Vision intellectually, and that's cool. And I really enjoy that. And I know I'll love it when I see it. But I do have a question, and I know this is a little bit closer to nitpicky, but I guess I don't know the full context behind um, the the fight itself. But you're telling me that Vision beat Vision with a simple placebo? Like,
Sorta.
well, it's
huh?
So for the
kind of.
first half of the episode, they have an actual Marvel fight. It's them flying around, beating the absolute hell out of each other, and eventually they're smashed into like this library. They're both equal grounds because they're both, Wanda's Vision is the best version of Vision, but then the other Vision is still Vision, but doesn't have any of his memories. And then Wanda's Vision is like, look, I don't have any memories of before this place, and I'm not made of any of the genetic material of the original Vision. So, am I even Vision? And therefore, your mission was to kill Vision, but am I even Vision? And if I'm Vision and your mission is to, if I'm not Vision and your mission is to kill Vision and your Vision, and he's kind of like, so which one of us is the real one? And then the White Vision is like, I guess neither of us would be. And then Wanda's Vision is like, well, you're made of really complex material. There's no way they can just wipe all your memory. They just blocked it. And then White Vision is like, huh? And then Wanda's Vision is like, let me poke your brain. And then White Vision is like, no. And then Wanda's Vision is like, please. And then White Vision is like, okay. And then Wanda's Vision pokes his brain a little bit and gives him his memories back. We get a cool little scene where like the animatronic stuff they put in his head to replicate the Mind Stone like glows orange, and then he kind of like just kind of looks at Wanda's fake Vision, and then White Vision is like, "I am Vision," and then flies away.
Okay, that's stupid. Okay,
Yeah,
that's really cool on concept. Like, oh, they're gonna have an intellectual battle.
Well, actually, I mean,
But
I
I
explained it
think,
in Monkey Brain way. When you
well,
actually
yeah,
watch
yeah,
it, it's pretty good.
but like, I do have to say that the monkey brain version should not be possible when two of like the smartest creatures like around are duking it out intellectually. Like that's to a point where you have to almost hire a philosopher to write that for you, because I don't think regular writers can truly achieve such an intellectual philosophical moment like that should be, like, so
Mhm.
that's kind of just them not wanting to get a philosopher or something's
Well, they needed a way
uh,
to get.
I don't know.
I don't know. They just
they
needed a
they
way
could
to
have used
get.
someone.
They needed a way to get Vision in the real world and not stuck in the WandaVision world. So that was their way of
Yeah,
doing that, I guess. I mean,
I guess,
it's
but
fine, I
hit and
guess.
miss, hit and miss.
Did they even
So
hit?
like, I mean, I don't even know. They just kind of
Kind of
touched each
hits.
other's. They touched robotic fingers, and
Dude,
one
they
got the
touched
better
each other, and then
Yeah,
one of
they
dude,
touched
they
tips and
touched each
everything
other. One
changed.
of them, they touched each other. One of them turned white, and the other flew off. It was weird.
to God knows where. Basically, one thing I do want to say about like WandaVision and also Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which will feature Scarlet Witch
Hmm.
also. Um, Honestly, I know this is up to like Marvel Studios, but something I want to see the MCU do is adapt the House of M like
Hmm.
story arc once they bring the mutants in. Are you familiar with House of M, William?
I've heard it been mentioned, but I've never like read any comics specifically involving them or
Jake, if
anything.
I'm
Uh,
right, that is like in the original X-Men movies that were made, the House of M is Xavier's. Oh, wait, what's his name? Professor.
Professor X.
Yeah, Professor X's like school slash home for all the mutant children.
Uh, it's
Yo,
it's Charles Xavier's School for the Gifted, I think. I don't know, but
Yeah.
basically, what happens in House of M is spoiler warning for anybody who hasn't read the comics. Wanda basically starts to lose her control, like control of her powers, similar to Jean Grey in like the Dark Phoenix story arc, another X Men story that was adapted like two
Hmm.
times. But basically, she's on this island where mutants go to called Genosha with like Charles Xavier and Magneto, and uh, uh, like Quicksilver, Pietro, and I guess like the Avengers and the X Men both realize that Wanda's powers, if they get too out of control, can basically wipe out all human life or
Hmm.
any life on the planet. So they basically both decide to kill her, much to
Yeah. Well,
Pietro's dismay.
it's even said, I should say, in WandaVision, when what's her name? Agatha's like floating in the air. She's like, what Wanda's like, I'm no witch. I just got powers. And then she's like, no, you are in the Book of the Dead or whatever. She's like, in the Book of the Damned, it says that you have the power to wipe human life. And then Wanda was like, dog, that's not what I'm trying to do. So. I mean, it is
Yeah,
already confirmed basically that Wanda does have the power to kill all the people in like in the multiverse or universe, I should say, but whatever.
yeah.
okay.
So basic.
Real quick, I don't mean to interrupt, but I just real quick want to note, um, Eternals. I don't really care much about at all. Spider Man comes out. Doctor Strange comes out. Apparently, the day before my birthday in 2022, and then Love of Thunder May, and then they're still planning on releasing Black Panther 2 in July, which is like what? Are they gonna?
Yeah,
I don't know how they're gonna do that.
yeah,
I
because
don't
like the
know.
director, Ryan Coogler, I think, who's the director of the first Black Panther, who's returning in this one, said that it was really hard to do it without Chadwick Boseman.
Well,
Rest in
Yeah,
duh.
peace, by the way.
He's the Black
Well,
yeah.
yeah,
Panther.
well, yeah,
He was the best character in Winter Soldier, and then the worst character in his own movie.
He
Yeah,
was the
I got
guy
that.
named. I would imagine it's hard to make a movie when you no longer have the guy that is the title of the movie.
Well, what I'm
So.
seeing is filming is expected to start in Australia this July. Boseman's role as T'Challa will not be recast, and previous cast members Latita Wright, Lupita Nyong'o, um, Winston Duke, and Angela Bassett are all still expected to return.
Hmm.
So they still have everyone, including Shuri, the sister of T'Challa.
Well, what is the
So
last thing that
well, no,
happened?
it's
You know, I don't
well,
want to speak disrespectfully of Chadwick, and I'm not going to, but I mean, does his death in real life line up canonically with what happened in the Marvel movies?
No, not even close.
yeah,
So, the general Black Panther setup was a weird pacing for the movie in general, but Chadwick and his villain of the movie, I can't
Hmm.
remember his name.
Eric
Uh,
Killmonger.
yeah, Killmonger. Killmonger usurps the throne. T'Challa comes back, and then they duke it out. And then there's actually a really great scene at the end
Hmm.
where Killmonger is basically like, "I, you won, but I'm gonna die. Like I'm killing myself because I lost. And
Mm-hmm.
then as like opposed to what he did in Winter Soldier, he allows Killmonger to end his own life
Hmm.
because I can't remember the exact motivation, but essentially he just
But
continued living on being king, and then Infinity War happened and he
mm-hmm.
was still king, and there wasn't really anything
Well, what is the last thing?
involving,
What is the last scene? Like, I feel like Jake will probably know this because he just has a big brain. But what is the last like Marvel scene that Black Panther was in?
Infinity War.
Yeah,
Like,
it was
what
an Endgame.
specific
Like
scene?
after,
It was the
I think.
battle scene. It
Well,
was the
no, it
battle
was.
scene,
Did he
right?
get snapped?
It was
Yeah,
no,
he
yeah.
got
He got snapped, and then like technically, I think the last scene. I'm pretty sure he showed up at Tony Stark's funeral, like in
Yeah,
Endgame.
Mm,
he did. And so like the issue is that like they could technically do a story in between the time where Chadwick is gone, and it'd be really cool for them to like decide who's the Black Panther while T'Challa is gone and stuff. So there's an avenue technically for Black Panther to have a sequel, but without Chadwick, I don't know. I feel like it's best just to kind of leave the characters ends open
well, I
and
just
not
don't. I
like
don't know because they have to continue the Black story, like, or the Black
do
Panther
they?
storyline. They have to because it's already set up
Why?
that
Yeah,
Wakanda is like insanely important now that everyone knows about
Yeah,
it, and
but I
vibranium
mean,
comes from there, and
I,
yeah.
I I don't know. I think that they could. Dude, I don't know. Like I genuinely don't know how they could find a workaround for
I don't
this.
either. I'm excited to watch it. I mean, I'm excited
Yeah,
to see what
same.
they came up with. What
Yeah,
I mean, I really
Honestly,
I don't want it to just be a thing where like it opens like some speech where it's like our king died or some stupid shit. Like I don't.
yeah.
yeah,
I hope they
Like
do justice to why Black Panther
yeah,
is no
no,
longer
no.
there.
Genuinely, I hope they build like a giant like spike gravestone at where T'Challa like fucking poofed away, and then right when fucking Tony snaps everyone back into existence, Black Panther just falls on a fucking spike. I
Oh,
genuinely hope that's how they do it, because that's the only way I can think
that's
of T'Challa being dead. It
yeah,
makes no sense.
it
yeah.
doesn't make sense. I mean,
Something I
maybe
do.
they could play it off as like,
Yeah,
we never know why some people didn't return from the snap or something, but that's stupid. Like
yeah.
maybe they
Something I
play it
do want
off
to.
because like they never showed like they never claimed that everyone in the world reappeared, right? Like, maybe
Yeah,
The whole thing was everything like the exact line was like everything that happened before is or everyone that died is brought back or whatever. So it wouldn't like there's not really a loophole for that either.
I don't
You
know.
know, unless somehow Tony Stark was racist and was like everyone but the black people.
Yeah,
So like
Yeah, no,
otherwise
that
I
would
don't
not
know.
be. I don't think they'll write it off like that.
Yeah, I would go ahead and assume
I'm
probably
gonna
not.
assume probably not. Yeah,
Pretty
yeah,
sure they're not going to retcon their most popular
but
character into
yeah, I don't
being a
even want to
racist.
theorize it. I'm gonna
yeah.
leave
I
that
don't want to
to.
think about.
I'm gonna leave that to film theory, and I'm gonna leave it
Yeah,
to
Yeah,
the
I'm gonna
movie to
leave that
figure
to
out what's
film
going on.
theory.
yeah.
Yeah,
Something I do want to point out though. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. William, I don't know if you know this, but one of the main villains in Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, is in fact Kang the Conqueror.
Never saw it.
yeah.
Uh,
I genuinely have never seen either of the Ant Man movies, and
Yep,
I
me neither.
never intend to. I
they're
just don't
not. They're not bad, but basically what happens, you know how they use the quantum realm to like time travel and shit and
care.
everything,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So basically, the point of Kang's character in the comics, if you don't know, is that he
I do,
basically goes to. You do?
I do.
I don't know
But
100% actually, so go ahead.
Yeah. Basically, I originally thought that he went to like, um, I guess redo time like mishaps, but he actually just goes to different points in time to like rule various points.
That's what I thought.
And
Yeah, he. Okay, that's what I
yeah,
thought. But like a couple, I think last episode maybe you said separately. I was like, no, I'm pretty sure King the Conqueror specifically hops through time so that he can, be a conqueror, and then when that fails, he just yeets to the next, point in time or whatever.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but basically, what's cool about this is that I feel like he might actually like play a big part in the next like MCU like phase,
Hmm.
like next couple of phases. I don't think he's gonna be the big baddie like
I don't
Thanos.
either. If you think about, well, if you think about how, like, I was talking to you personally about this, Jake. I think if you think about how Phase One was done, or we're in Phase Two now. I don't know. Whatever.
We're in phase
Phase
4.
four.
Okay,
Yeah.
whatever. How all the phases 1 through 3 were done, like, for a while there, Loki was the worst thing we were worrying about. And, like, I think that's kind of what they're doing again. They're introducing a villain that is going to be a problem, but is definitely not going to be the problem, a couple years down the line.
Yeah,
Because it took them a
I
long
want
Yeah.
to.
time to build up Thanos and get Thanos to be.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have this. I have this one thing I want to just throw out there in
Hmm.
hopes that some fucking Marvel writer sees this. The only way I think conceivably that Marvel can kind of pull themselves out of the rut they're in, which I think really at the moment mostly relies on what the villains are, because we already know most of the heroes. Any new ones that come on, the formula's kind of been uh, catered pretty or catered to a very manipulatable formula.
Yeah, it's
Like
no
you can
longer about
change
the
a lot.
heroes.
Yeah,
It's
like
about
you can
the villains.
yeah, well, yeah, you can change it a lot. You can mix and match, but the heroes themselves, we kind of have confidence in them being good. So we're generally gonna still watch
Well, I
all
think
of
that's
them.
why I think
But
that's why they messed around with, like, the concept of, when the snap happened, and what's Arrow Boy's name?
Hawkeye,
Like, Hawkeye
Hawkeye.
lost his family, and then all of a sudden became like a completely, like, immoral, just killer of bad
well,
people, which
yeah,
is completely
yeah.
Yeah, like a
separate. Like,
vigilante.
I
What
think
I'm
they were
what I'm
trying
trying
to
to
set up, like, the complicated hero arc, especially with, like, looking at Wanda, where it's like it's complicated. She's
yeah,
not a hero technically. Like, what she did was
I don't
awful.
though that I don't think that's what I'm trying to get at.
Hmm.
What I'm trying to say is the only thing that can save them in terms of a big bad for the Marvel universe after such a good character like Thanos, I think genuinely it has to be one of the characters we've already come to know and love. It's gonna be a while before we're gonna get another Endgame, but I think the only way conceivably you can build up a big bad like that without it being just out of nowhere would be if like a Wanda or a Thor or someone that only
Yeah,
has one or two, or mainly Thor, because I think Thor is only contracted for two more movies.
I think
Um,
so.
so
But
I think there has to be some sort of big bad from the inside, because
Hmm.
otherwise there's just not going to be enough development for the villain, no matter how hard they try.
But also,
yeah,
like, we
that's
have
why I
years.
think
We have years to build up a villain too, so it could be done.
Yeah, but
yeah,
okay,
that's why
hear me out. I don't mean to interrupt, but hear me out. Do you really think that they're going to do three whole phases again just to
Maybe.
get to another big end game? Though it makes sense for them to have one or two, they already have so many of the building blocks that the first phase in particular set up, mainly because the first phase was introducing superheroes to the public that weren't fucking stupid or Spider-Man. So um I or like actually Spider-Man or Batman. So you were actually introducing people to the ideas of the comics and all that, and it took a while for them to even bring up the Infinity Stones, and they were supposed to be a big part like two movies later. So I just I don't see how they could do the same thing that they did the first time, given how long it took for the first time, and the fact that they already have half of what they needed from the first phase already. You know?
well, see, the thing is, I think that's why they should really like utilize like House of M and Avengers versus X-Men as like the next big kind of end game level thing. Because like I feel like that'd be amazing. It could be two films, like two parts, kind of like Infinity War and Endgame. You have House of M focusing on like I guess killing Wanda because she's become so out of control. She just kind of becomes the involuntary like villain, and then you have like the Avengers and the X-Men just kind of disagreeing about it. So the only way they can really solve it is similar to that of Civil
Yeah,
War
the way
during
I would
the
look at it is
Sokovia
like,
Accords.
the X-Men
Like,
are, the X-Men would look at it as this person is a threat. Like, we're gonna have to deal with it. And the Avengers have already been established as, a group of people that do what's good. They do what's best for everyone, but also at the same time, not really. Like, they're not gonna prioritize killing this person that they've known for years just because she might be a threat. So yeah, my assumption, lines up with yours a little bit, where like any kind of X-Men or something would have to clash with the Avengers. Like, there's no chance they wouldn't.
I look, I kind of gotta disagree a little bit, and that's mainly based on, dude, how many Avengers are actually left now? Like actual core member Avengers. Let's see. Uh, I know we still have Hulk. Wait, hold on.
We also have the opportunity to do like Young Avengers as well, since like Wiccan
Hmm.
and Speed were introduced or
Yeah,
something.
I was about to say because I don't think it's gonna be Avengers versus X Men. I think the new Avengers are definitely gonna come around, and the old Avengers they're just gonna be dissipated slowly.
I guess like they
I
could
don't
do
know.
like I guess like I don't think they're gonna introduce like old X Men like Wolverine and like Cyclops and Phoenix and Storm. I think they're probably gonna aim towards bringing back like newer like X Men, and I think maybe include Deadpool in that because like Deadpool is kind of a part of the X Men,
Well, I'm
kind of
pretty
not.
sure like they're definitely gonna try and roll out a new Wolverine. Like, that's just gonna happen. I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
people.
So just real quick. Okay. The current Avengers roster is WandaVision or sorry, Wanda and Vision, Hawkeye, Thor, Quicksilver's dead, War Machine, Iron Man, Falcon, Black Panther, Hulk, oh well, Panther maybe. Um and Black Widow and Captain America are dead. So
Yeah,
and Iron Man's gone. So we basically have Wanda, Vision, Hawkeye, Thor, War Machine, Falcon, maybe Black Panther, Hulk.
and
I don't think any.
you gotta count. I don't mean to interrupt. You also
Oh, you're
kind of
good.
gotta count. You gotta count Spider Man and Ant Man
Oh
because I
yeah,
think they're both technically Avengers.
Hmm.
yeah.
Avengers as well.
Technically, kind of, sort of, yes. So
And what,
we only
Wasp
have.
Girl? What's her name?
Well, her name's just Wasp.
Bee Woman.
But
Oh,
yeah, so we don't really have a lot of big hitters in the regular Avengers anymore. Chadwick Boseman's untimely death really fucks up Black Panther, who I think was probably going to be a huge leader.
Most likely.
Wanda is kind of already on her own path of character development. Vision's kind of AWOL. We don't really know. Hawkeye's pretty much. It feels as if he's sort of retired at this point, not
Also, you forgot
canonically,
about the
but
most important character, Jarvis.
I thought
Jarvis is
Jarvis was
dead.
dead though. Yeah, Jarvis was dead. That's
Yeah,
why Vision
What?
was
Jarvis is
created.
dead. That's why Vision exists. Vision is Jarvis.
Well, no, he's not even Jarvis then. He's
Wait.
just
Well,
a.
yeah, but Vision Jarvis was necessary for Vision to become Vision because I think they needed like a human AI or something or something like that, and then
Wait, I
Tony
thought Jarvis
sacrificed him.
still existed, kinda,
No,
somehow.
there's a new like person mechanic whatever, but it's basically just an AI. It's not really like Jarvis, you know?
Oh.
Yeah. So
Bro,
I know that's
I
kind of
gotta
weird.
rewatch movies, man. I need to just go on a
Uh,
Yeah,
binge and relearn
yeah,
everything.
this
yeah.
is this has kind of been
But
a long. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, no, I just wanted to keep like I just what do we have in the Avengers that keep us in the Avengers? Like we have War Machine and Falcon and Bucky, but Bucky's not in the Avengers because he doesn't like showing up for every fight. That's why they got him for Infinity War specifically. You know, like
Hmm.
I don't know. I just don't see anyone like unless they're gonna bring in Mantis or fucking Wonder Man or Two Gun Kid. Like I don't think like anyone is going
Two
to
gunmen.
yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna measure up to Iron Man in that, and because of that, I think they have to move on from the Avengers and find like a new Avengers, X Men, House of M kind of route. You know?
Yeah, I mean, the Avengers will still be around for sure, and they're gonna
Yeah.
expand on it. Like, there's no chance they're not. Like, they will expand on the Avengers, but yeah, other things are gonna have to roll out.
Yeah, I just think the next Avengers movie, first off, isn't gonna happen
Well, that's why
for
they're not
years.
focusing. That's why there's not movies out that are like the Avengers, blah blah blah. Like it's all kind of standalone movies because they're
Yeah,
rebuilding,
they're
Yeah,
coming out
introducing
with
things. They're rebuilding
but
story. So
my
yeah,
my
they're
whole
coming
thing
out with
is
Blade too.
well,
Like
well,
they're
my whole
coming out with
thing
a new
is
Blade.
that there are still members in the Avengers, which makes it kind of awkward. Like if all of them just died, we would have to have a new Avengers. But I think because they're kind of in such a stalemate with only a few characters left, I don't
mhm,
think people are going to join the Avengers as much as the Avengers might join the new Avengers. You know, like
mhm.
maybe they won't call it the new Avengers. Maybe they'll still keep like the Avengers tag, but I just don't think that as we know it, Avengers is gonna stick around.
Yeah,
You
Yeah,
know,
I'm just excited.
whatsoever.
I'm just excited to see the movies, man. I'm excited to see what they roll out, what
yeah,
lore they're
Oh,
putting
for
in now,
sure,
what the story they're gonna build around. I'm just
absolutely.
Marvel, as cheesy as some of their movies are, and as stereotypical as some of their movies are, still does a hell of a job of at building atmosphere and building characters and story up. So I'm
I
just
mean,
excited to see what they bring us.
what else do you have? You got Marvel, and then the Daredevil movie a while ago that we forget about, and whatever the fuck DC is doing right now.
Daredevil was a
yeah.
show.
Daredevil was
No,
in.
Daredevil the movie. I mean,
There was a
Uh,
movie.
yeah,
starring Ben Affleck, the
and
greatest Batman around.
you also had like I think
Ah,
Michael Clark Dunstan, I guess is like or Duncan. I always
Yeah,
forget his last name. He was like Kingpin in that, I
yeah, it was
guess.
like 2004 or something.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah,
One of the last things I wanted to bring up, speaking of Marvel, we got the Falcon and the Winter Soldier coming up next week,
yeah,
which
I'm
I'm
hyped
really
up for that
excited
one.
about.
are they doing? I don't know if you know this, Jake. Are they doing similar to WandaVision, where it's like an episode a week or whatever?
Wait, I think they just released a
Yeah,
trailer, didn't they? Because I've
uh,
seen like a trailer
Do
for it.
we want to do like a
yeah, they,
live watch of the
I
trailer?
yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah, we
All right, you two
absolutely.
talk
yeah,
about it a
but
minute. I'll give it a little Google.
yeah, that's one of the
Yeah,
last
I'm
things I
googling
wanted
it
to
now
talk
actually.
about. Basically, I'm excited about it because we're just kind of finally seeing like Bucky and like Sam's relationship like play out because they've had a pretty tense relationship. I know they're both friends. They were friends with Cap at various points. Like, I mean, I mean,
Yeah,
Bucky was,
they do
yeah,
have an official trailer. Okay, cool.
yeah.
I don't mean to play that. So,
Yo, what's good, boys?
uh, who is that? Oh, hey, we're in a podcast recording right now.
Oh yeah, no worries. Sorry guys, sorry to interrupt you
Hey,
guys.
hey, you're good,
No,
dude.
you're
Yeah,
cool,
We'll,
man.
no worries, no
we'll
worries.
get you. Okay. Yeah, we forgot to go to mods only.
Apologies, apologies,
Yeah,
podcast. You got a cameo
we
from our
forgot to go
boy.
to mods only.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think
so I got the Winter Soldier thing pulled up right now.
Yeah, I have mine pulled up as well. I can share it in Discord so that I can also show it to the podcast.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's really cool, honestly, because like uh, they were just kind of I guess I don't think they hate each other, but they're not really good with each other. They just, I guess, piss each other off, you know?
Hey, just so I have the recording too, I just display captured real quick. So when you click play, let me know, and we'll start at the same time.
All
Hey,
right.
is there a new trailer
Make
for the
sure your
Batman? Or
audio's cut off though for when I start mine.
Yeah, no, I
All
got you.
right.
It's already muted.
Here we go, boys. Let's do a live little bit of a reaction. I'll pause it at any crazy moments here.
3, 2, 1, video.
all right, nice cinematic shot.
Okay, so no dialogue because YouTube's shitty, but
But we got plane, we got
we got a
Bucky.
woman, we got a plane, we got quirky side humor,
We got
all of
Bucky,
Marvel.
Falcon
or I mean,
flying
Ooh,
out. Marvel Studios
Marvel
logo.
Studios.
oh yeah, we got a
Oh
nice
shit,
cityscape.
it's
I think
nighttime.
it's a memorial. Oh, it's a mask.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh my God, they're going up
I
against the
wait, I
Terrors.
recognize that mask. Why do I recognize that mask?
Oh, it's the Flag Smashers.
Ah, that's why
Yeah.
I recognize that mask.
Oh, Memorial Workout. So sad.
Oh, that was good
That
editing.
was
Oh
nice.
shit.
That was
Yeah, it was
cool.
awesome. It was cool.
Kind of annoys me that I don't see like Cap's shield on the back of Falcon. I'll be
Oh
honest.
shit. They got
Like I
Sharon
think that should
Carter.
be with him all the time.
Mhm.
Oh, guy getting the finesse on the football field.
Hell yeah. I think that's supposed to be this like version of Captain America that they made by the government made, I guess. I don't know. I guess is like a successor.
Side humor, baby. Marvel
Oh
humor.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Maybe.
Humor while literally hanging onto the bottom of a truck.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh, there's more.
that's hot. Whatever this
Yeah,
is.
I don't know what's going on here.
Now this is a lemon party if I've ever seen
It's
one.
a staring contest.
Man, if Bucky and Sam don't kiss by the end of this, I've lost all hope in humanity.
Hey, Falcon blinked first.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Okay,
Oh good.
sure. That wasn't.
I didn't hate what
Uh,
was happening.
I
yeah,
liked it.
though I do have to say I think this show is absolutely gonna suffer with some of the same problems in like the first episode that like WandaVision for me did for me. Like
Mhm.
WandaVision was really close to getting cut off because I was bored and I didn't like Wanda. And only having seen like 4 or 5 episodes did I end up liking her.
Mhm.
Just because of bad setup throughout like the end game series in the first few phases. But like Bucky has, I think, the perfect amount of I guess lead up to him. Like he was connected to Captain America.
Oh yeah, I'm
He
so
uh,
excited to see
he
more of
had
him.
he had an entire movie technically
Yeah.
about him. He had Civil War. You know, there was a lot of build up for Bucky specifically, so I'm not worried about him. But Falcon, I gotta agree with the great one and only cosmonaut. Um, I've never really liked Falcon. I've seen him in comics. I throw him away. I really just I'm not a huge fan of him, and I think
Yeah, I don't
I don't
know.
know.
I
Yeah, I
think the
don't know how to
Falcon
feel about him.
alone I wouldn't be a big fan of, but I think pairing him with Bucky and the fact that they both had such a close connection with Captain America, I just think it's gonna. I think they will clash. Not clash. I think they'll meld together very well in this show. I think it's gonna be
Yeah,
very good.
yeah, but I do have a little problem with that because like on your left was a really good line. Like that's cool,
Yeah.
really cool actually.
Hmm.
But how much or how close were they actually? Like it's a really powerful moment that Falcon shows up, but I think it's more in coincidence that he says that out of anything,
Hmm.
because the big moment with that was Captain facing off against a world ender, and he expected no help at that point,
Hmm.
and like that was a really cool moment, but
Hmm.
like I don't know, I just don't think
Well,
that
also
the on your left scene and that is kind of enough to
yeah, well, Marvel
build
also has to build up characters now. Like Falcon's one of those characters that he was there. We knew about him. There wasn't much to him. At the end of Civil War, they kind of left him to be in the Avengers, but like now they have a chance to build his character in. And also, I just love the actor that plays him. Like he's a great actor. I think he's gonna really I think he's gonna bring now that he's in a whole show. Like I think the characters are really gonna flesh out. And I disagree
Yeah.
with you
yeah.
boys. I think Falcon comics, but I think just specifically his acting and what they're gonna bring out. I think you guys will enjoy it.
Yeah,
That's
I
I
my
mean,
like
look,
prediction.
I
I
like
have,
Anthony Mackie as like an actor and all. Like I enjoyed him in that one episode of Black Mirror where he was
yeah,
like with his friend. But yeah, I agree.
yeah. Like as a person, Anthony's kind of whatever because he's got some weird views that I think are kind of shitty. But like as an actor, I really enjoy
Yeah,
him.
I don't.
I really enjoyed how he did Falcon. Like he made me start to like it. That's why I even looked that
Hmm.
like I tried Falcon comics again. And I was like, nope, that's shitty. So like I can draw the distinction, but I think it's the same problem with Wanda. Like I've said, the sheer lack of one extra scene in like Winter Soldier or Civil War, I think is when he came up.
Yeah, I
Um,
wish they gave him a
I don't
little
know.
more build up
Yeah,
before this,
just
but
one more scene or two of like them locking eyes and like going into a fight or something. Like maybe like a gay kiss. I don't know. Anything, anything to
just a
like,
smooch.
yeah, anything to make Anthony's character Falcon anywhere near as close to Cap as Bucky was, because Bucky was the only friend that
But also, like,
he had.
but
You
here's the
know,
thing:
I don't know.
Bucky was super close to Captain America, and Falcon is like he was there and a pretty good friend, and I think that's also going to clash in the show too a bit. Like, I think
Yeah,
I would expect some scene somewhere where like they argue and Bucky's like, "You don't know anything about what he meant to me," or something along those lines. Like, where it's like, I I don't know, just like I think it's gonna be a nice clash of like Bucky being like, he was my best friend, I don't have him anymore, like stuff like that. And technically Captain America is still around. Like
yeah,
the old man still be there, so I doubt they're
yeah.
just not gonna cameo him at some point.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think overall it's a little bit lacking. Like there's definitely room for conflict there, because there's kind of room for conflict in any story. I
Hmm.
just think that maybe even if we got a scene of like Falcon showing how much he looks up to Captain, that would be really cool,
Hmm.
because then it would be like the person that like is closest to Captain America by all technicality in every way, Bucky, who was like the greatest of friends with Captain. And if Falcon, or if Falcon just looked up to Captain, or we saw that a bit more, then it would be a lot easier to take this at its face value and jump into the first episode and be like, oh, this is so cool, I can't wait. But because of that, I think the first episode is going to be a bit of a drag, surely based on the lack of a scene or two extra, you know?
Hmm. I don't know, man. I'm just once again, I know I've said this a couple times, but I'm just excited to see it and see what Marvel has for us.
Oh, I'm really excited for it. Compared to
As am I.
WandaVision, I really like Bucky as a character, so I'm already in it solely because of Bucky. So I'm excited.
Hmm.
I hope I get more excited as episodes come out. I hope after the first episode, I don't think, wow, they wrote Falcon really badly.
Yeah, well, I'm actually gonna
um,
attempt to watch
yeah,
this episode by episode instead of like binging it. So,
same. I'm
Yeah.
gonna try.
Honestly, another thing I just kind of wanted to bring up. Last thing. Um,
I
I already
agree.
talked with William. I already talked with. I already talked with David about this in the first episode, but William, what are your expectations or at least what do you think is going to happen in Spider-Man: No Way Home, which the title of it was recently announced 2 weeks ago. Me and
Um,
David have been thinking that it's going to be kind of a multiverse film, but I kind of
I
am
have my
putting that aside a
theories.
little bit. I mean, I have my theories too. I honestly think it's going to be a nice setup to the Sinister Six,
I
but
okay. I don't think they have. Okay, maybe they don't have time, but I think it's probably, if they do the Sinister Six, it has to be a longer movie. It has to be 2.5 hours. It has to be maybe three, because Sinister Six needs a lot of setup that they haven't done yet. At least in my opinion, like at least two or three of the members of the Sinister Six needs to be out there and known, and we need to fear them or something. Like they got to be aware of separate villains before that point. So I just think that he's gonna be dealing with so many other things involving his identity and shit like that came in the last story. And I think it definitely could be a multiverse setup, because it'd be really cool to have three Spider-Mans fight the Sinister Six, because I know that there's been a lot of speculation about the Andrew Garfield
Hmm.
and Tobey Maguire cameos or spots.
yeah.
And I think that would be really amazing, but they got to keep it long. Like it'd be long, but they need to keep it long so we have all the setup for it.
Either keep it
Um,
long or break it.
yeah, break it up.
Break it up.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah,
I feel like
what
cause
I'm hoping is No Way Home sets up the three Spider-Men, if that is what's happening, and then future films will slowly roll out villains. Like I think
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we've already been quote unquote introduced to Magneto, and I think if this is
Wait, have we?
yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How have we been
Or
introduced
not
to Magneto?
Yeah.
Magneto. Wait,
Uh,
who
oh,
is the bad guy?
Mysterio.
Oh, Mysterio. My bad. My
Mysterio.
bad. My
Yeah.
bad. We've
Yeah.
already
I
been.
was about to say, if you
No.
know
Okay.
something I don't know, that'd be
Sorry.
tight.
Yeah. No, I got my M's messed up. No, we've already been introduced to Mysterio, quote unquote Mysterio. Obviously, in this universe, Mysterio was just not actually a supercharged villain. However, if it's in an alternate universe, it could very well be that there is a Mysterio that is, actually a bad guy.
Yeah.
So,
Is actually
we've already
magic.
been kind of introduced to one member of the Sinister Six. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, once again, that is 1 out of 6, and
yeah.
like Amazing Spider-Man did. I think there's a lot of fucking room to fuck this up. I've loved
Yeah.
every single Spider-Man movie that has come out, and he's by far, like, not even close. I liked Andrew Garfield because I liked the presentation of the movie a lot more, even though the movies were a bit worse.
hmm
And I think Tobey Maguire was a great Spider-Man, a bad Peter Parker, but Tom Holland is just perfect. Those
Oh,
movies have
Tom
been
Holland
perfect,
is
Yeah.
ballin'.
Tom Holland is
and
great.
Tom Holland's balling. Hey yo, Tom Holland, quit balling over there. Hey,
No,
get over here
you're
and shoot
right
this
though.
scene.
Tom
Uh,
Holland is an amazing Spider-Man, and
oh, he's
the
great,
team that's been working on the Spider-Man movies are just killing it. And if
dude.
they keep
He's
it
a great
up,
Spider-Man.
oh man.
He's a great Spider-Man and Peter Parker, and that's what we've needed
Yeah.
for so long.
hmm
We had a great Spider-Man and a horrible Peter Parker, and then we had a horrible Spider-Man and a great Peter Parker, and now we have just great of both. But
hmm
I think they have a lot of room to fuck up because when Amazing Spider-Man 2 didn't end after Gwen dying, which could have been pretty cool, they threw in fucking Rhino. Really?
Yeah, that
Why
was
do
so
we need
weird.
this extra like fucking 10 minutes of wasting my time? If you
Yeah.
Rhino.
wanted to introduce Rhino, he should have been the first
Yeah.
person he fought at the beginning of the
Yeah.
movie.
Paul
So he had
Giamatti
like,
playing
I
Rhino,
don't
no
know.
less. Like, how
Like,
fucking
dude,
weird.
Like
I
literally,
don't know.
even in the games, I'm pretty sure. Like the first Spider-Man game, I think the first villain you fight is Rhino, and he's just
It's
like
almost always
vibing.
Rhino.
He's just banging cars around and being an asshole, and you're like,
Yeah.
gotta deal with Rhino again.
And like, why couldn't that have just been like the start of the movie? We start off with like a little action scene of
yeah,
fighting Rhino. We don't even have to call him Rhino, so it's just a setup for the third
like
movie where the Sinister
imagine if
actually
like the
come.
film
You know?
panned up at the beginning of the first movie and it panned up over maybe like a flipped car and like the audience was like, what's going on? And then Spider-Man swings in and like kicks Rhino in the face or something. Like that would have been nice. It would have been a
Yeah,
nice
that
intro
would
to
have been
Yeah,
like,
cool.
what would you know what would have been funny, honestly, if
hmm,
it's true that they are bringing out Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, if like Doctor Strange just kind of like accidentally opens up a portal to like the Tom Holland universe, and like it's just at the scene, it's just right before like you know
and they
Peter
kiss.
Parker swings in. No, it's right before Peter Parker swings in and hits Rhino, and like he just kind of gets yeeted out of the existence of that universe, and Rhino is just kind of left to his own devices.
Dude, honestly, I genuinely hope that like both of them, just like Doctor Strange just tells Spider-Man, hold on, let me get you some friends. And then he just opens up two portals and two Spider-Men come in swinging into that fucking mansion that we saw in Endgame and just hit the fucking wall.
Like no,
Like,
they
why
like
am I
smash
here?
into each other and they're like, what?
Yeah, yeah. No, it'd be
You're
funny.
Spider-Man. Hey, no, you're Spider-Man. Wait, we're Spider-Man?
And then
Yeah,
Doctor Strange just floating like, yup.
They do the fucking point scene from the cartoon, like, it's
yeah,
you.
Dude, you know
yeah,
what? There's three. You know what? There's three Spider-Men. If they're gonna be in a movie together, I better get my point scene.
I need my point scene. I don't care if fucking Spider Verse had an end credit scene. I want my point scene,
Exactly.
you
yeah.
bitch.
And it's like Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire complaining about their web shooters like being
hmm
like ineffective, and then Tobey Maguire's like, "You guys had to use web shooters?"
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
how did
No,
I
that?
my
think
shit comes out of my
I
body.
think it could be great. There could be some just great chemistry. So I'm
Yeah,
excited.
honestly, I'm excited about it too. And it comes out
Yeah,
in December, and honestly, even if
I'm
it doesn't
waiting,
feature them and
baby.
actually teases them, honestly, it'd be nice to see a character in one of those movies finally finish like what the fuck as a question, because that's like a running joke in the films. Like,
yeah,
that would be funny. It'd be the
yeah,
first time that I'd see a Marvel film say fuck, and
yeah.
honestly, it'd be a good payoff
And
to
all PG-13 movies have one fuck. They get
Yeah.
one fuck. They
Where's
can
my
say
fuck?
fuck one
I want
time.
my
I
fuck.
feel
So
like Nick
so I
Fury should have had to have said motherfucker when he got snapped away in like Infinity War, you know?
yeah, dude, all I have to say is it would be so funny to have the Spider-Men just fucking fly into each other and they're like,
Yo,
fuck, that hurt.
question. What happened to Nick Fury? This is gonna be like, I feel like the last question. What happened to Nick Fury?
I
So,
think he just got popped back into existence and then he
well,
made Sword, right?
well,
Did he?
yeah. What
No,
happened
I
is
don't think he found his sword though.
Did he not?
no, no. I think so. Basically, I think what happened. Uh, I guess cause like if you guys know about Captain Marvel, you know that the Skrulls like make an appearance, like that alien race, the Skrulls.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, isn't he on like
he's
another
off
planet
world.
or
Yeah,
something?
he's off world. That's right.
Okay,
Yeah,
now
he's
I
off
remember.
world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because there's that end credits like scene after Peter Parker gets revealed to be Spider-Man in Far From Home, and like
Yeah, I
basically,
remember now.
uh, yeah. So it turns out that like Maria Hill and Nick Fury aren't actually them. It's actually Talos and Soren from Captain Marvel, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, I think that probably ends it
You
for
know what that
us.
is?
We're at
You know
about
what
an
that is,
hour.
boys?
I gotta go.
That's a
yeah. I gotta.
podcast.
That's a
That's a
podcast. That's
that's a
Clueless,
podcast.
baby.
That's clueless.
Ooh,
That's Clueless.
That's
Our logo with
clueless.
the question mark a little to the left.
Yeah, that
boom.
logo with the question mark to the left, that's Clueless, that's a podcast, and that's an outro.
And that's an outro. Bye. Get
Bye.
out.
Get
Get
out of
these.
here. Get out of here.
Get
Check
it.
out, honestly though, check out our links in the description. We really appreciate you
Yeah.
coming by. If you enjoyed the
Yeah, man.
content, leave a like, leave a subscribe. Go bully Jake on Twitter. Thank you
Please
Do it.
guys.
do. I post terrible
Yeah.
things.
Bye
Do
bye.
you now?